On Take 30 News, the Cotton District Art Festival kicks off with a juror exhibit.
Plus, the Student Association announced the Bulldog Bash performer this week.
And we'll cover the benefits of new Maroon Camp for incoming transfer students and freshmen. Your Take 30 News starts right now.
All right, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Candice Bruce.
And I'm Jake White. With the cold weather months starting to appear, local health care providers say that they want residents to stay safe. Take 30's Kinnadi Walker hit the road this week to see what we can do to stay in good health.
I think the biggest things are just to make sure you're eating a healthy, nutritious diet.
Nurse Lorna Seeger discussed ways to stay healthy leading into the cold months.
A lot of times, just once it gets colder, your immune system is going to go down. People start coughing, sneezing, that spreads more frequently.
The CDC reports as the cold weather moves in, it is important to take your vitamins. They suggest vitamin C, zinc, and vitamin D as essential vitamins that help to boost your immune system. The public should continue washing your hands, wearing your mask, and staying 6 feet from others.
It's important to be proactive with your health because that's kind of like your first preventative measure. So if you have a good kind of foundation, keep your immune system boosted, then we're further preventing the spread of us catching any other infections like COVID and then spreading that to other people as well.
Lorna Seeger says if you aren't feeling well, to visit a local physician or urgent care.
So if you're not feeling well, you start developing any fever, cough, sneezing, anything along those lines, the best thing you could do is come on here to get tested or go to another urgent care nearby. They could test you for COVID, flu, strep. There's a variety of things that it could be.
Express Urgent Care is open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. For Take 30 News, this is Kinnadi Walker.
For more tips on staying well this season, visit the CDC's website. And speaking of the weather, it's time for your first look in weather here in the Golden Triangle. For that, we turn things over to Campus Connect meteorologist Jacob Woods.
Good afternoon, guys. It's been a beautiful day. We started out with some morning clouds, and those have now given way to a lot of sunshine across the Golden State Triangle. You can tell here from our campus cam here above Davis-Wade Stadium. It's been a mostly clear sky throughout the last several hours. A current temperature of 84 degrees, and that dew point at 64 means that the air is a whole lot more bearable than it used to be just a few days ago when that dew point was back up in the 70s. Across the Twin States, temperatures are in the lower to middle 80s, even some 90s being reported there in Jackson and Hattiesburg. Those will be the warm spots throughout the rest of today. And if you have any evening plans to go out into the town tonight, 5 p.m. temperature of 83 degrees and quickly dropping into the mid-70s and holding on to those mostly clear skies as we go into the later part of tonight. Back to you.
Tense moments for residents of Fulton after a string of car break-ins. And it's not just Fulton. Law enforcement suspects this crime spans across the state line of Alabama. Our Jake White has the details.
Car break-ins aren't new to any community, but they're becoming more prevalent in the city of Fulton. The string of break-ins began on Tuesday.
That's terrible. I hope they catch them. I honestly wasn't aware of it, but it's not a good situation.
And it happens in parking lots just like these. So what you want to do is remember, if you have anything in your car of importance, like this backpack right here, always keep it under your seat.
And truly, I didn't even know that it was going on. But it's a terrible thing, and I hope they get caught.
The Fulton Police Department is asking for your help in identifying those involved in the rash of car burglaries at Mueller Brass. 3 firearms were stolen from 3 different vehicles. Fulton Police Chief says they're doing their part to cut down on crimes in their city, but if you see something, say something.
We've increased patrols in that area, especially around parking lots and around businesses where vehicles stay stationary. Mueller has actually done their own advancements.
Right next door in a Facebook post made by the Hamilton Police Department, the same 2006 Honda Accord Hybrid has been giving them trouble as well, meaning that they're traveling between Fulton and Hamilton to commit these crimes. If you or anyone you know has any information, please contact the Fulton or Hamilton Police Department. In Fulton, Jake White, Take 30 News.
You can also reach out to your local Crime Stoppers. Remember that Crime Stoppers is completely anonymous.
And Mississippi State's Department of Sustainable Bioproducts will host the Magic Science Fair next Monday through Friday. 4,000 fourth graders, from across the Magnolia State will be on campus to learn about forestry. Students will be taught that wood is recyclable, biodegradable, and durable. It's said that this is a chance for elementary students to learn about the benefits of wood and the importance of sustainable materials.
Coming up, the wait is over, and we now know who will grace the stage for this year's Bulldog Bash. Don't go anywhere.
Meeting the challenges of a changing world. It's a responsibility we take seriously at Mississippi State University. Today, our outstanding faculty are on the job with a passion that places them among the best in the business. We're launching new classroom models, investing in world-changing research, and providing a college experience that's second to none. Though things may look different, our sights have never been higher.
With every simple click, our world becomes more interconnected, open, and vulnerable. At Mississippi State University, we're targeting online criminals and training the next generation of cybersecurity experts. That's great news for the military, Fortune 500 companies, and local law enforcement agencies who depend on our graduates in the fight against malware attacks and other cyber threats. By imagining the attacks that could happen, our student-led teams are learning to stop the ones that will. It's part of a cutting-edge curriculum at one of only a few universities in the U.S. to hold every academic certification awarded by the National Security Agency. That's why, in an age where many of the biggest threats we face go unnoticed from behind a screen, it's good to know that Mississippi State is on the other side, protecting our online identity with every simple click.
And welcome back to Take 30 News. The annual Cotton District Arts Festival is almost here, but the first event kicks off on Monday. Our Olivia Beck has a story.
Are gearing up for the juried arts exhibition. They have been bringing in artwork all week, getting ready for the grand opening on Monday, September 18th. The artwork featured will cover all sorts of mediums.
You'll see painting, drawing, photography, printmaking, sculpture, and fiber arts, and even graphic design.
Submissions for the competition were due August 6th, and the winners will win money prizes up to $750. The award ceremony will be Saturday, September 23rd. Even for those who don't win, the most important prize is getting your artwork in front of people.
Getting their name out there in front of a larger audience. You know, thousands of people come to the Cotton District Arts Festival, and so that weekend, their work is in front of thousands of people. It also is an opportunity for them to sell their work, so many of the pieces in the show are for sale.
There will be a private reception for buyers on September 22nd from 5 to 6 p.m. The organizer said even though making art can be a stress reliever, the competitive nature of this exhibit can also be nerve-wracking for first-timers.
While it is a truly professional show, it's a great way to locally stick your toe in the water.
The exhibit will be open to roam and explore September 18th through October 7th. This is Olivia Beck with Take 30 News.
To learn more about the Cotton District Arts Festival, visit cdafestival.com.
The city of Starkville is preparing for fun as Bulldog Bash approaches. Joshua Hughes has the story.
Pop singer Jason Derulo is headlining this year's Bulldog Bash. During the announcement, students had the chance to scan a QR code to enter a giveaway for 2 VIP tickets. This event is free to all people and the concert will start at 7:15. Spotlight coordinator Laura Grace King shares why this event is important to her.
To me, Bulldog Bash just kind of represents how awesome the Mississippi State community is and how we can really come together and have a great time for a night, but also just like, really come together in one location, which I feel like doesn't happen very often other than sports and things like that.
Many students were excited that Jason Derulo was the chosen artist. MSU student Taina Williamson shares how Jason inspires her.
I probably most admire how, just the courage he had to go and branch out to do different things. Like he was a songwriter here, but then he went to Australia to be a judge there. So that's just like a big change, and I kind of want to be dynamic like that.
One of the ways you can prepare for Bulldog Bash is to drink plenty of water.
Bulldog Bash is partnering with Willie's Pantry this year. This event will be scheduled on October 20th. For Take 30 News, I'm Joshua Hughes.
Hours artists will be announced next Wednesday.
Incoming students have a chance to get a jump start on college success and making lifelong friends. Here's how New Maroon Camp is shaping the lives of so many on campus.
When people hear the words New Maroon Camp, they think of a fun week for incoming students. But many people don't think about the lasting impact going to New Maroon Camp can have on student success.
Additionally, I'm really looking forward to being able to speak in front of the group and really get to know them on a deeper level.
This week-long camp prepares first-year students for the transition to Mississippi State. Mackenzie Stone is a junior counselor trainer, and she says this event makes her feel connected to newcomers.
I think that's one of the most beautiful things about this position is that you really get to connect with those staffers.
Students who attend New Maroon Camp are more likely to graduate than students who do not. Stone says the pipeline from camper to staffer to student leader is very strong. She says those who participate are just like family.
They kind of your babies a little bit, you know, you take them in and you help lead them and you watch them shine on their own and just kind of that full circle moment. So I'm really excited once we kind of get to that stage.
You do not have to go to any of these camps to be a part of the organization. Just simply apply on Cowbell Connect and you can get involved immediately. New Maroon Camp is only 10 years old and is always looking to improve. Their goal is to have a positive impact on every type of student, no matter their background. Simply getting involved can help you get through these formative college years, and it looks like New Maroon Camp is a great start.
And if New Maroon Camp isn't for you, MSU has over 300 organizations for you to choose from.
Coming up, we have Jacob Woods in the studio to give us a weather preview heading into this weekend.
Meeting the challenges of a changing world. It's a responsibility we take seriously at Mississippi State University. Today, our outstanding faculty are on the job with a passion that places them among the best in the business. We're launching new classroom models, investing in world-changing research, and providing a college experience that's second to none. Though things may look different, our sights have never been higher.
With every simple click, our world becomes more interconnected, open, and vulnerable. At Mississippi State University, we're targeting online criminals and training the next generation of cybersecurity experts. That's great news for the military, Fortune 500 companies, and local law enforcement agencies who depend on our graduates in the fight against malware attacks and other cyber threats. By imagining the attacks that could happen, our student-led teams are learning to stop the ones that will. It's part of a cutting-edge curriculum at one of only a few universities in the U.S. to hold every academic certification awarded by the National Security Agency. That's why, in an age where many of the biggest threats we face go unnoticed from behind a screen, it's good to know that Mississippi State is on the other side, protecting our online identity with every simple click.
Well, thank you for staying with us. I'm Campus Connect meteorologist Jacob Woods. Here with a live look at our satellite and radar from over the last several hours. And we did have some clouds that moved across northeast Mississippi this morning, but those have since cleared out, making way for plenty of sunshine and a very beautiful Friday afternoon here in northeastern Mississippi. If we go ahead and look at that weekend planner, it looks pretty pleasant. Mostly sunny skies and warm temperatures for tomorrow. A high of 86 degrees is expected. On Sunday, pretty sunny and very seasonal, as well as those temperatures are remaining pretty close to that mid-80s average here for mid to late September in northern Mississippi. We do kick off at 11 a.m. against LSU tomorrow, and the temperatures look to be pretty warm, around 81 degrees at 11 a.m. And then as we go into the halftime time frame, around 84 degrees is a rough estimate for that temperature, with a slight increase in cloud cover as we go into the post-game festivities. Temperatures in the mid-80s still hanging on there by around the 3 or 4 p.m. hour, and that should be where we top out for a high tomorrow afternoon. But I do want to walk you through the hour-by-hour forecast because there is the potential for a very rogue shower to pop up mostly along the Mississippi-Alabama state line and then just points towards the east. You can tell our in-house model here keeps most of those convective showers and thunderstorms across Alabama. Can't rule out an isolated storm here in Oktibbeha County, but the point of this is that I think we do remain dry throughout most of our Saturday, so it shouldn't hinder any of your plans plans outdoors as you're preparing for the big game. Here's a look at that bigger picture, a cold front draped across the central United States. This is really drawing our attention because it's going to be the leading edge of very low humidity and much more comfortable air that starts to move into our neck of the woods over the next several days. Where you see the green contours here, that's indicative of some very humid air, but just behind it, these more yellow and orange shades are showing where we have some drier air beginning to filter into the region. That cold front slides through as we go into Sunday. Dew points tanking all the way into the lower to middle 40s, and this is showing that we have some very nice air to contend with over the next several days. This upcoming week looks quite pleasant, and it is a very early taste of fall. So here's a look at that 7-day planning forecast. As we get into fall, temperatures start to come down, of course, with that as well. Upper 50s for Sunday night and Monday night, which means it'll be beautiful to wake up to on those early morning classes, and holding on to plenty of sunshine, as you can tell, going into the end of next week.
And thanks for that coverage, Jacob. Up next, Caleb Ward will take you through this past week and give you an upcoming look at Mississippi State sports.
Performance at the highest level is the objective of every athlete. But what can athletes accomplish if they understood and responded to everything their bodies are telling them? Mississippi State University's Athlete Engineering program is designing and deploying groundbreaking advanced wearable technology that creatively collects millions of data points for researchers to analyze, predict performance, and improve body mechanics. Researchers in engineering, kinesiology, sociology, textiles, and more disciplines are working together to test and design new technology that leads to winning results. In addition to helping athletes reach their highest potential, this collaborative program is reducing injuries and protecting the health of competitors now and far into the future. Mississippi State University. Farming can be a tough way to make a living. Weather, pricing pressures, and unpredictable swings in demand can take a toll, not only on farmers' finances, but on their mental health, as well as that of family members and farm workers. That's why Mississippi State University is spearheading a program to train extension agents to detect the signs of depression, substance abuse, and other stress-related challenges. Everyone has a bad day, of course, but this holistic view of a farmer's circumstances enables MSU representatives to recognize the difference between routine struggles and deeper, more serious issues. It may be a tough conversation, but the sooner it gets started, the sooner farmers can get help to better manage stress and continue the important work of growing the products our world needs. Caring for farms and farmers. Mississippi State University.
And welcome to Take 30 Sports. I'm Caleb Ward. The Mississippi State Bulldogs won an overtime thriller this past Saturday, 31-24. Our Dogs focused on pounding the ball on the ground against the Arizona Wildcats this past weekend, while the defense created 5 turnovers in the contest. Jeffrey Pittman scored the game-winning touchdown in overtime, and it was shot by our very own Candice Bruce. The Dogs take on the LSU Tigers at 11 a.m. on ESPN this Saturday. This is a big contest, as SEC Nation will be here to make sure to come out and support the Dogs this weekend. There's a lot of hype surrounding SEC Nation giving the Bulldogs a visit this weekend. SEC Nation is setting up for their show tomorrow and has a lot of students excited about their arrival. We spoke to students on the drill field.
Fun atmosphere. I mean, anytime SEC Nation comes into town, I feel like there's that buzz in the atmosphere, you know, that's just going on game day.
But some students think we should have a bigger audience for Zach Arnett's SEC opener this year.
Yeah, I don't think we have enough attention, to be honest with you. I think this should have been game day. Colorado State's like one of the worst teams on the planet, so I think this should have been game day, but we're happy to have SEC Nation.
The SEC Nation show starts tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. They'll be giving out free t-shirts to the first 500 students here. Another dog was named the Player of the Week for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Jet Johnson won Defensive Player of the Week as he had 11 tackles, 1 sack, and 2 interceptions on the day for the Dogs. As we transition to volleyball, they won Thursday in 3 sets against Lipscomb and play Albany Christian this Saturday at 5 p.m. Now we transition to soccer. as we see the Lady Bulldogs picked up their 5th win of the season, improving their home record to 5-1. They hosted the University of Louisiana Monroe Warhawks for their last non-conference matchup as the season. It was a tight game until the 48th minute when Maggie Wadsworth scored her 2nd goal of the season to put the Bulldogs on top. ULM, they open their SEC schedule tonight here at home against the Auburn Tigers at 6:30 p.m. Now we transition to softball. Fall ball starts today at 4 p.m. against Wallace State Community College and then 6 p.m. against Jones College. Now our Diamond Dogs released their SEC schedule this upcoming season, and it's going to be one of the hardest road schedules in the SEC. As we see, we take on Texas A&M and Florida back-to-back. That's going to be some tough games and everything. Ole Miss, and then Super Bulldog weekend, we host Auburn, and then we go to Vandy and Arkansas. This is Caleb Ward with your Take 30 Sports Recap. Stick around, and we'll have more Take 30 news after the break.
Meeting the challenges of a changing world. It's a responsibility we take seriously at Mississippi State University. Today, our outstanding faculty are on the job with a passion that places them among the best in the business. We're launching new classroom models, investing in world-changing research, and providing a college experience that's second to none. Though things may look different, our sights have never been higher.
With every simple click, our world becomes more interconnected, open, and vulnerable. At Mississippi State University, we're targeting online criminals and training the next generation of cybersecurity experts. That's great news for the military, Fortune 500 companies, and local law enforcement agencies who depend on our graduates in the fight against malware attacks and other cyber threats. By imagining the attacks that could happen, our student-led teams are learning to stop the ones that will. It's part of a cutting-edge curriculum at one of only a few universities in the U.S. to hold every academic certification awarded by the National Security Agency. That's why, in an age where many of the biggest threats we face go unnoticed from behind a screen, it's good to know that Mississippi State is on the other side, protecting our online identity with every simple click.
Welcome back to Take 30 News. For the first time in our history, union workers are on strike against all big three automakers. The United Auto Union workers are joining the picket lines. Gloria Pazmino reports.
We are the union! Strikes underway as the clock ticked past the midnight deadline to close the deal.
I don't know how I'm gonna survive, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be out here striking.
Of the union's 145,000 members, nearly 13,000 are on strike Friday. The United Auto Workers Union announcing the start of targeted action at 3 select plants in Michigan, Missouri, and Ohio.
This strategy will keep the companies guessing. It will give our national negotiators maximum leverage and flexibility in bargaining. And if we need to go all out, we will.
The union is asking for ambitious raises in wages, benefits, and job protections for members. Ford CEO Jim Farley saying Thursday the company can't afford those demands.
40% will put us out of business. We would lose $15 billion. We would have to cut people, close plants. What's the good of that?
They could double our wages and they could not raise the price of vehicles and they would still make billions of dollars.
GM issuing this statement. We will continue to bargain in good faith with the union to reach an agreement as quickly as possible for the benefit of our team members, customers, suppliers, and communities across the U.S. And Stellantis saying we are extremely disappointed by the UAW leadership's refusal to engage in a responsible manner to reach a fair agreement in the best interest of our employees, their families, and our customers. I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
The UAW says it will not negotiate with the automakers on Friday. No word yet when negotiations might resume. And I know for sure that, this could really affect car production.
For sure.
I mean, first we have COVID that affected it, and now we're having this as well. So, I'm expecting, waiting on cars a little bit longer, getting them off the lot.
We're now turning to in the art world, a mystery has been solved after a stolen painted masterwork is finally returned in a very unlikely way. Jeremy Roth has the story.
A precious, priceless Vincent van Gogh painting stolen more than 3 years ago is back where it belongs, and it was returned in an IKEA bag. The painting was stolen in March of 2020 during a brash break-in at a museum near Amsterdam. DNA evidence led to an arrest, but the painting itself remained missing. Enter Arthur Brand, an art detective known as the, quote, Indiana Jones of the art world, who received an anonymous tip on the painting's whereabouts and negotiated its return. The work, estimated to be worth as much as $6 million, was delivered bubble wrapped to Brand's apartment in a blue IKEA bag. Reportedly damaged during its absence, the painting is expected to undergo restoration before going back on display. Speaking of displays, folks in the UK were treated to an amazing one in the skies as the Northern Lights were in rare form recently over Scotland and Northern Ireland. I'd like to say they're the most vivid skyward shots I've got, but that honor goes to this one. A newly released James Webb Space Telescope image of a super trippy look at a young star spewing jets of gas. I'd like to say this is the most meaningful skyward shot I've got, but that honor goes to this one. Okay, technically they're on the ground here, but this pair of pilots for Southwest Airlines are actually father and son, and this pic is a recreation of one originally taken decades ago when Reuben Flowers was just a toddler. Nearly 30 years later, Flowers lived his dream to one day fly with his pop, also named Reuben, serving as first officer on his dad's retirement flight. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Ross.
I'm sure that's the last thing they expected, to have that painting returned in an IKEA bag, but it sure does make a fun story, so.
Well, that's all we have for you today, and we are super excited for this weekend. I know that I am. Yes. Obviously, Candice is dressed for LSU's funeral this weekend. What do you think? What do you think? What's the game going to look like?
Man, I feel like the Dogs are going to come out on top. You know, the biggest thing is our offense has got to capitalize on the turnovers that happen to where our defense gives a rest, and we just got to hold Jaden Daniels, and the Dogs going to eat that tiger for dog food, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I know that I'm excited. I know
very
you are
excited.
too. We're all excited. I know you're excited. All right. Well, thank you for joining us here today at Take 30 News. That's all we have for you.
We hope you have a good weekend.